We have a Jewish fisherman, a follower of Jesus by the name of Peter, who is talking to Cornelius, who is an Italian soldier living in Caesarea, because at that time Israel was an occupied country. Peter is going to try to explain to Cornelius what he believes. Cornelius had received a vision to get Peter to come and to ask Peter to explain what he believed. We read in this chapter that Cornelius was a devout man, and from the very beginning of the chapter that he was a God-fearing man and prayed to God regularly. But he was not a Jew. He was an Italian. So he gathers his family and friends together and asks Peter to explain his faith. Peter starts by saying, "The truth I have now come to realize is that God does not have favorites." That is a wonderful statement. There is no favoritism. The most important thing to say is God has no favorites. He doesn't love one person more than another. He doesn't love one culture more than another. Each one is interesting, but God has no favorites. God is above these differences. He loves each human being. No one has more value than any other. There is no favoritism. God is above culture. Culture is fascinating, but there is something higher than culture here, and that is God Himself. But we need also to remember that God is not partial to people of a particular race. He is partial, however, to those who fear Him and who do what is right. The standard of righteousness in the past had been adherence to Jewish law. However, Peter says that he now understands that fearing God, having reverence for God, and doing what is right are now the criteria by which God will judge. This doing right acknowledges that God expects correspondence between our faith and our behavior. A person who reverences God will try to honor God by acting according to God's will. Grace is still necessary because we have all sinned and fallen short of the glory of God, but God knows our hearts. God knows we are trying to honor Him by doing His will. But it is not acceptable to profess faith while making no effort to do God's will.